Hello and welcome to the show. You've heard the song lyrics, looking for love in all the wrong places. According to nationalsingleday.us, 117 million Americans are unmarried, or nearly every other adult over the age of 18. Think about that. So you'd think the odds of finding the right one should actually be pretty good. My first guest knows firsthand what it's like to go through a few frogs before finding Prince Charming. She says there are actually 6 traits we must avoid to find the right one. Welcome to Ring Formula Dating Coach, Mecca Tartt. Hello.
Hi, Portia. Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure to have you. We're going to talk more about this ring formula in just a moment. But first, I want your frog story. Help folks understand that you understand.
Yes. So it's very easy in Atlanta, right? I think the dating scene can be difficult, but just like many of the ladies that are tuning in, I had that moment where I knew that I wanted to meet my one, but at the same time I compromised. And I compromised because I also wanted companionship. So I was dating this guy and things were going well. A girlfriend of mine introduced me to him. And it was so interesting because it's not a guy that I would have chosen for myself. But she said my standards were too high. So I gave him a chance and we went out on a date and it went well. But he had anger issues. He had the resume. He was the investment banker. He was attractive. He seemed like a good guy on paper. So we dated for a while. And I had that moment where I was visiting him at the time and he stayed in downtown and I took my suitcase over there. We were having a good time. And he thought when I went out to run some errands that I was actually going to see someone else. So when I came back to his condo, my stuff was outside in the suitcase.
Your suitcase was outside the door?
Outside the door.
How long after you met him and started dating did that happen?
This was 8 months into the relationship.
Had you, in retrospect, seen signs of that kind of misbehavior before?
Yes, with his family, with his friends,
but
with
overlooked
acquaintances,
it?
But never with me.
Okay.
Never with me. And so I think that's where we have to be careful, because when you see how people treat other people, it's just a matter of time where they treat you the same way. And so it went from that relationship. I walked away peacefully because, of course, a different side of me could have come out at the door.
Of course.
But it did not.
And we know that good ladies don't go
we don't
all the way off if we can avoid it.
So
the next frog.
The next frog, I was actually dating a guy, and this is Atlanta. So we have the hip hop scene. I was dating a guy that was a rapper, and people would always think I was his PR agent when we would be out. They're like, oh, you must be his publicist because you don't look like the women that are hanging around trying to get his attention. And it wasn't that he wasn't a good guy. We were just a mismatch. We wanted different things in life. He wasn't looking for marriage. I was.
But again, was that a case where you're settling because you want some companionship?
Absolutely.
I think a lot of women can relate to that.
Yeah, and
a lot of men too, if we're honest, right?
And I wanted to have fun. So I was having a good time, but I knew that he wasn't my forever.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure a lot of women can understand this guy. There was a guy that I was dating and we had amazing chemistry. I'll say that because I'm married now, right?
Yes, right.
We had amazing chemistry.
But everything else,
listen.
Out of whack.
Out of whack. And so we had amazing chemistry when we got together, but I knew he wasn't my husband. And women would say all the time, women who were wise, that you know when you meet the one. And we'll try to mismatch things like, maybe I kind of sort of feel this way because he is this and he has these things going for himself. But when you know, you know. And with my husband, when I met him, when he walked in the room into the restaurant, I remember he had on this black suit and he just walked in with all of his confidence. And I had that moment as a woman where like I literally turned because I was blushing and I had butterflies.
Right.
I turned to pretend like I was doing something.
Right.
And turned back around to present myself like, oh, hi, how are you? And so,
here's the two of you.
Yes, that's the two of us at our marriage retreat.
And we should point out, this is Dr. Aldwin Tartt, therapist, a regular here on the Portia show. And so it's fantastic to finally put the connections here. And the two of you do a lot of work together.
We do.
You're a relationship coach, he's a therapist, and you work together trying to help couples.
We do.
But also helping singles.
We do. We help single women, I would say now all over the world, because we have a woman in Thailand now, a woman in Dubai.
Wow.
And so women who are serious, not women that are like, oh, I'm trying to get myself together year after year, or not really dating, but women who are seriously focused on dating towards love. We help them attract quality dates in 3 months.
Wow.
Just like your trainer. Your trainer gets you together in 3 months. We can do the same thing with dating.
Yeah. Now listen, I want to talk about this because this looks like a wedding, but this is actually vow renewal, right? This is big for the two of you, and you say for other couples, you have to keep going back to where you started.
Absolutely. You cannot chance your relationship or leave it on autopilot. No relationship will last that way. There's actually couples that say we just grew apart. We just fell out of love. You don't just fall out of love. You don't just grow apart. It's the little things that you're not doing along the way.
It's the maintenance.
Absolutely.
You've got to do the maintenance. So you two have been married for how long now?
We've been married for 9 years and together for 14.
Wow. And so you have gone through the things that we know the singles, both of you have, go through trying to get to this point. And then the things that we go through as couples, trying to stay together. Beautiful family photo here. You now have children. I mean, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
But it's work, right?
It is work. It is work, and it takes active work. It takes two people that want to make a difference, want to keep the marriage together, and communication is so important. It's so important.
That's where we're going to pause right there because the communication that singles are having, men and women, really tells a lot about where the relationship is going to go, right? So we're going to pick up where we left off. When we come back, you're going to meet two beautiful ladies. They're going to open up about what they've learned about identifying the right guy. They're going to join the conversation, getting two different perspectives. One happily married, the other happily single, but doesn't mean she's not looking for love. So they're going to join the conversation when we return. Stay with us.